Please proceed to table 24. Yannick Bongers, Oliver Ortman, please proceed to table 30.
We are able to start?
They will tell us. Okay, then just I think 2 minutes of you. Alex, can you also approach, please? Let me brief you.
Good afternoon and welcome back to day 2 of the Predator Austrian Open. We are live from the Hotel ALPINA Alpendorf in St. Johann in Salzburg. Now then, next match for you today between Aleksej Pachel and Mateusz Snagotski of Poland. It's a race to 9. It's alternate break with 2 breaks each, don't forget. I'm Mark White, and joining me in the booth for this one is well known on the circuit as Big Red. It's the cuddly Canadian to me, Eric Hallefson. Hello, Eric.
Morning. Pleasure to be with you. Looks to be a close match here. Both players coming in within 10 points difference in Fargo. Pachel coming in at 804. And Snagotski coming in at 796. So not much difference in Fargo. Give the experience edge to Mateusz. But Alexa's had some very good results on the international scene in the past couple years.
Yeah, we're running behind just slightly here in Austria. We're due to start at 3:15, but it's put back to 3:45, and just a couple of practice racks going on at the moment. Mateusz, there you see at the table. This is the other table, table 1. Both tables available with commentary on the Pro Billiard Series YouTube channel, but this is the one we're concentrating on. If you want to watch the other one, you'll have to nip across or just open another device. So we're playing the 3-point rule on the break. That means you must score a total of 3 points. You get a point for every ball that you make on the break, and a point for everyone that passes the head string into the kitchen. Make a total of 3 and you're good to go. So this should be a very, very high quality match, this one. There was an amazing match earlier today, Eric. Conrad Jusician was 8-5 down to Daniel Maciel. Maciel on the hill. Conrad came back to 8-8 and then won the decider on the hill. So Jusician advanced in that one on the winner's side. So Mateusz to break off then, rack number 1, first of his 2 breaks. Let's go.
One ball down, legal break, right on the 2. That's what he's looking for. He has a path between the 5-7 coming up table here for the 3. Fairly open rack. 4 connects to the 5 well. Likely going to play the 5 in the side because of the location of the 4. Seven ball's kind of impeding the most direct path back to the 4, but he'll find ways around it. Nice shot, in good line now. Look for both these players to be at a pretty high break and run percentage throughout the match. Both world-class players coming in right around the 800 Fargo range, putting them easily in the top 100 in the world. Snagotski was kind of one of the original Polish players to kind of make a breakthrough on the international scene. He's been a Polish team member for almost 20 years now.
Have you ever come up against Mateusz?
No, I'm surprised because he's kind of from around the same time I was competing more in international tournaments, but I've never played him. Alexa's a little bit after the time that I was competing more. I like how he plays though, just textbook, typical European style. Cut for the 9, he's okay.
Yeah, he was going to play that drawing the cue ball back, decided against it, changed his mind. Got a lovely little bump on the 9 ball there, went forward 2 rails. So simple 9 Eric in the side to open up his account. This is a winner's qualification, of course. So nicely done, the perfect start.
Yeah, both players will be looking to advance to the final 32 stage here. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the first of his 2 breaks, Eric, and I'm loving this 2 in a row break. It just does add that little bit of something extra, doesn't it, to the match?
Yeah, I feel like there's a better chance of a comeback. I mean, I always keep thinking about how one player will have 4 breaks of the next 6 and how that'll lead into the score line. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad adjustment to the format. Like if you win the lag here, you have 4 of the first 6 breaks. I feel like that's a pretty big advantage. But of course, you know, you're not going to win all of your breaks, right? You know, the incoming player is looking to kind of break serve, and that can change the flow of the match too. Picture perfect break there, corner ball and 1 ball down, 2 ball dressing up nicely, and this is looking good for Mateus here. 2 ball pockets easier in the side, but I would think he'll play in the corner just because of the position.
Oh, it's looking good here, Eric, to get the maximum out of his first 2 breaks at the table. Plenty of room here to get position on the 5 off of this 4 ball. That looks pretty good to me. Maybe just a little bit far, so won't be able to get really close, I don't think, Eric, to this 5 ball.
Yeah, he has the option to still follow it. I think he'll take it because the 5's pretty far from the pocket and a bit of cue ball movement towards the 6, so he'll want to be close here. Look out for the 8.
Don't overdo it. That's why I said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there. Makeable jump, but small break here in the early going.
Certainly didn't want to be getting the jump cue out at this juncture. Oh, what a recovery. What a recovery from the pole.
Can play naturally up the right side of the table here. 8's a little further from the left pocket, but I think he'll stay on the right side of the table. Good opening 2 racks here from Mateus. Serving note that he'll be ready to play this winner's qualification round. Alexis had some big... Go ahead, yeah.
No, carry on, Eric.
Sorry, Alexis had some really promising results on the World 9-Ball Tour. He finished in the semifinal of the US Open. Pretty much one of the toughest World 9-Ball Tour events to do well in. Is a fly on the table there, Mark? What's going on there? I don't know why I'd be pointing at the rack like that.
Didn't put him off.
No break.
Look at this, look at this, look at this for a nice little last bump as well from the 7. He's in here again.
Yeah, the 4 is a little surrounded and might be forced into a 5-6 combo. There is room below the 5 to play the 5 in the top right. Key shot in this rack is going to be getting on the 4 properly. He's looking at an angle on the side where ideally he can follow down naturally and play the 4 in the bottom left. He's a little short of the natural angle here, which will make it a little tougher. He might be following between the 8-9. If he is, that'll work. If not, he's going to have to stun to the right, which is a tricky play. Looks like the fall is okay here, landing between the 8-9. How's the pace here? Not bad. It's got angles, so he's going to have to come on top of the 5 for the combo, but it's lined up pretty well to the pocket. Five ball should just stay around where the 6 is here. Pretty straight ends, so not much of a threat of the 5 trailing off to the right or left off the 6. Nice shot.
Looks like both players are in stroke. Chance to win the racket this visit, which will give him some confidence to start with a break and run on his 2 breaks. Straightforward stun shot then. Strokes it home to make it 2-1. Just looking at his trousers, he's kind of camouflaged against this carpet. It's unusual to see somebody in grey trousers. Normally it's black, but he's gone for the grey. Clashing with the carpet, Eric.
Didn't get the memo on the arena setup. Yeah, he's kind of come on not out of nowhere, but just as a young player that had a lot of talent and had a lot of early success. He's really kind of established himself as one of the top 40 in the world, I would say, easily.
He's kind of like Piers Labutis in a way, that kind of ilk, you know, and Sanjin Perlevanovic. Maybe they've had a little bit more success than Alexa, but Alexa's been busy, hasn't he, answering all those questions around people's houses. That's the problem.
He's a little worried about drawing into the 7 if he tries to draw out of the angle. He's actually considering what's going to happen if he does run into the 7. Can't really go forward because the 9's blocking the forward path. See what he comes up with here.
Might be able to use the 7, Eric.
Oh, he got in front of it. Nice shot.
Doesn't want to be straight.
Yeah, he is a little straight. Perfectly straight, really. Gonna have to cheat certain parts of the pocket if he wants to get any movement going right or left. The 5 is pretty covered by the 6, 7, 9. There is a path where he just plays a big power draw off the right long rail and back across table. I don't think there's much else.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of reverse right spin as well. Needs to clear this brown 7. No, the jump cue is going to come out here, I think.
Yeah, not enough right on the cue ball. So similar situation as to how Mateus progressed through his first 2 racks. Break and run in the first, and going to have to come with a jump here. Tougher jump than what Mateus had. Position's not straightforward. A little thick. Decent on the result.
I've always struggled, Eric, with the draw with reverse spin on the cue ball like Alexa just played there. I never seem to get enough spin on the ball. What's the secret? You do a lot of coaching. What do you tell your students about that particular shot? I mean, it's a pretty advanced shot, isn't it? But what do you tell them how to get over that problem? How would you instruct them?
Yeah, I think typically, you know, you're coming on a pretty straight angle back, and you're trying to, you know, it's just a slang term, but we call it like you want to swing the cue ball off the rail. So, you know, knowing that you really want to affect the cue ball off the rail, you're gonna have to spin it a lot. You know, it's funny. I was watching Manny Pacquiao on a stream one time, and he's a good player. Like, call him around a 700 Fargo. Manny Pacquiao, the boxer, for those that don't know the name. But he was shooting that shot, and he put the wrong spin on the ball, and like he's on stream and he's just laughing at himself, like he actually forgot, because it's kind of weird. The spin kind of takes the opposite way as it would when you're drawing as to when you're following, so you can forget sometimes. But yeah, it's a handy shot, because if you don't have it, there's really no way to get up table other than spinning the ball there.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, very well known in the Philippines, into politics, but also was a great world championship boxer, and as you said, a very, very good pool player. He's also got a yearly tournament named after him, the Manny Pacquiao Open, very, very popular tournament, 10 ball, I believe.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the game, and he's always done his best to promote the game in the Philippines. Shot there from Mateus. Find some left spin on the cue ball to hold it straight enough. So first small break in the set here, possibly.
A very quiet man, Mateus, around the venues. I've met him a few times. He's a man of few words. I'm not sure how much English he actually speaks. I know he speaks more English than I do Polish, that's for sure. I'm still struggling with their names, Eric. Never mind the language, right, still struggling with their names.
You can spell out Yushishin and Shevchek. Better have your enunciation right. I remember one thing about Mateus. My friend was telling me, I can't remember what tournament it was. It was just kind of a local type tournament in Poland, but he won a fairly expensive car for winning the tournament, and that was pretty big back in the day, you know, like back when 15,000 was big on the first prize money, but he won about 10 or 15,000 for the tournament, and he won a brand new car. I thought that was interesting.
I remember when Steve Davis made the first televised 147, he won a car as well. And it was a Lada. It was during the Lada Classic. And at the time, it was probably the cheapest car on the market. And they were butt of many a joke, the Lada. Such jokes as, why do they have heated rear windscreens? It's to keep your hands warm when you're pushing it. Right. There was lots of jokes like that around at the time. So, illegal break. from Mateus. Didn't make the 3-point rule, unfortunately.
Yeah, so
Have I
Alexa
missed
has the
something
chance.
there?
No, yeah, it's illegal. So Alexa has the chance to pass it back. I'm kind of surprised he's taking a look at even trying something as a kick safe here. He's finally decided to pass it back, so Mateus will be pushing here likely. There is an offensive
Yeah,
kick
that's what-
safe where you try to kick the one past the 5-6.
That's what was catching me out there, Eric. I thought, what's he doing? Kicking at this off of an illegal break, he can give it back. And
Yeah.
of course, in the end, he has.
I think the left edge is there, but not much is happening off the left edge as far as I can see. So Mateus just going to push here. This is an aggressive push to a long jump. Not that bad, I guess. Kind of ideal distance to jump over the first ball. Oh, he's going to take it. Down in the match, trying to make something happen here. Again with the pump fake there. Put him back.
Had second thoughts. Was it a good second thought? We'll soon find out. Yes, it was.
Yeah, thin one for Alexa here. Gonna be hard to slow the cue ball down. He might consider running it into the 5-6. A lot of traffic going up table. There is a safe playing the cue ball behind the 5-6, but again, being down in the match, I feel like he wants to try to make something happen here. Nice play. How's the cue ball going to end up?
Nice bump. Very nice bump. He's okay.
A little over
Eric
top
can
of
just
the
get to
4. Yeah, he's a little over top of the 4, but he has the proper side of the cue ball here to play around the 5. Just play a bit of right on the position.
They are playing with a shot clock. You may have just heard the referee in the background calling 10. Maybe that was in the back of his mind there, Eric, as he maybe just hurried the end of that shot. You wouldn't have expected him to miss that, that's for sure. Not usually.
Yeah, no matter how many times that shot clock beeper goes off, or even if a ref is verbal about the shot clock, it just kind of throws a little wrench in your whole approach to the shot. Just not going to get the roll here. He has the 3 in the side. Missable. Cue ball's playing to the right of the 5, so he won't have to draw it.
This is one of those shots, Eric, that doesn't really come up that often, so it's not kind of a shot you'd normally practice, is it, this shot?
Yeah, and a shot like that, it's called shooting into a blind pocket. So it's like, it's really just all judgment on what the cut angle is. You don't actually look at the pocket when you're executing a shot, but just the fact that it's in your vision usually helps. It's a tricky one there, but he's come up with a roll here.
I wonder, can he kick and stick this? I hold the cue ball, maybe play it with some draw, send the 3 away, back down here. That's what he's tried. It's an opportunity though, Eric.
Yeah, so Snagotski looking good for a break a serve here. Or pardon me, this is back on his break, but looking to extend his lead now.
Short practice and start the match.
Straight back draw now, gonna require a bit of speed here.
Judged it nicely. Can go forward here. A little bit of right hand spin on the cue ball just to bring it off the rail back into the centre of the table. Perfect position on this 9 ball. And this is to turn the screw even more. It's now 4-1 to the bowl. Yeah, I think Alexa has just nipped out to take a break. Just try and gather his thoughts.
Yeah, we've got some other high-level matches in the winners' qualification round. Stefan Kaspers against Max Lechner, 2 each. Mohamed Soufi, the defending champion, against Kasper Matikainen. Kasper's coming off a victory, or a second-place finish at the Bucharest Open last weekend. Emile-Andre Gangflot, who's been climbing the ranks of the European Tour and internationally, up 4-2 against Marco Spitsky. Josh Filler and Mark Beisterbosch just waiting to start.
Just
Lena
mentioned-
Hjalmarström, pardon me, Mark, is in the winners' qualification match. Good to see the women doing well.
Yeah, the young Swede. I met her in Austria. She played in the juniors event. Terrific young talent. Her idol is Jasmine Ocean, and that's who she's looking to emulate if she can in her career. Not a bad role model to have. You just mentioned there Kasper Matikainen in the Bucharest, coming second runner-up. He actually won the event before that, the V10 Open in Finland, in Helsinki. So he's on a bit of a streak, Kasper.
Yeah, talented player. Seems to get down on himself sometimes when things aren't going well, but definitely has the talent to be up there, and looks like he's figured something out. Shot of Lechner here on the 5. One of the most consistent players internationally.
Yeah, quality player, isn't he? Kind of lived in the shadow of Albin for a long time, but he did have that US Open runner-up. I think it was against Ko Ping Chung, wasn't it? And Ko Ping Chung won
right.
it, I believe. Mad Max. Who was in that film? Do you remember that, Eric? That movie, Mad Max? Who was the main star in that?
I think it's Mel Gibson, right? Or De Niro? It's Gibson, right?
No, it was Mel Gibson, and it had the famous soundtrack, didn't it, from Tina Turner? So while we're waiting, oh, here he comes, right on cue, just as I was going to tell you about all the upcoming events for Predator. I'll save that for the end of this next rack as we go back and join table number 2. Mateusz Snagotski breaking off in a very good position, strong position, leading 4-1.
Hit them how he wanted, but nothing down. Nothing for Alexa here as far as offense, but he'll be looking to play the cue ball behind the 4-9.
Pretty natural, isn't
Could
it?
try to,
Maybe just a touch of right spin.
could try to play the cue ball behind the 3 too. In that case, if he does lock up with the 3, could take away a lot of the easiest rails. That's a smart shot actually, considering how close the 3 was to the rail. He did leave the left long rail. Not much as far as
Expecting
kicks
to hit this.
Yeah, he's actually going to jump at it.
Oh, he's jumping.
So kind of the second time that Mateusz was a little out of control, but had a good result. Back to the jump cue for Alexa here. See a little bit of body language coming in for Alexa, knowing that he's got a couple bad rolls so far. But just got to stick with it. Still lots of time to recover here.
Lost
the one
a lot of accuracy on that jump shot. Not a good jump really, not for this level of player and level of match.
Yeah, he's had a couple chances to turn the tide, tough ones, but just hasn't quite got that breakthrough when he's been in bad spots.
Right, it's run just far enough, Eric, to be nicely available in the side pocket with an angle to get to the 3. So I'm pretty sure he didn't play it like that, just overhit it, caught the 1 ball a little thin, I thought.
Yeah, you would have thought he was going in the corner there, but overran position by about 3 feet, but it worked out.
I think he just hit the 1 so badly.
Yeah, it's a really underrated thing where the balls are pocketed in the pocket, not only for when the top players are playing position precisely, but when things go wrong, it's usually half the time it's just about the ball went into a different part of the pocket than they were targeting. Strong match so far from Snagotski. Opened up real strong with 2 break-in runs. Couple small rolls in the next 4 racks. But really has taken advantage when he's had the opportunity.
Yeah, he will lead 5-1 by the looks of it. And it will be Alexa Pachel to break. Is it? No, it's Mateusz, isn't it, to break?
So we'll be going into game number 6. It'll be Mateusz's, yeah, so ominous signs here for Alexa. The loser will only have to win 1 more match to qualify for the final 32. But there is an advantage qualifying on the winner's side, theoretically, because the winners avoid the other players that are undefeated in the first round of the redraw format.
Yeah, so we've had 6 racks. It's 5-1. It will be Alexa to break twice next. And you'd say, Eric, he desperately needs to win both of them to get back into this match.
Yeah, pardon me. I thought we were back on to Mateus, but yeah, correct. It's Alexa to break the next two. So he does have a chance to narrow the gap here. Yeah, it's not going to be legal. No shot on
Only
the
positive
twos.
there. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
positive, isn't it, Eric? There's no shot on the two.
Yeah, so immediately putting him back into push here. Does have the thin right edge, but the cue ball's running into the 7 off that edge, so I think he'll be looking at a push. Lots of options here for Mateus.
Yeah,
He
including
can get the
giving
cue
it
ball.
back.
Yeah, he can get the cue ball to the right of the 7 here, and I think he'll look to do that.
Needs to miss the 6. He didn't. Well, not really a good chance this, considering where the 3 ball is as well, Eric. No real point in dropping the 2 ball into the corner. He's going to have to come up with something a little bit safety orientated.
Yeah. I like the defense, as you were saying. The 3 doesn't lie good enough to really try anything offensive. Not enough reward, even if you do make the 2.
Oh, mind where that 2's going though. He didn't want to fade the 2 ball over there, and he's left it.
I wonder if Snagotski will try the combo here, because it's tough to get down to the bottom side of the 3. He's actually looking at playing between the 3 and the rail. Tight position here.
Uh-oh, cue ball.
Sharp. Yeah. Gone off on the side, and that's the break that Alexa was looking for.
Really has to take advantage of this ball in hand now. He has to run this rack out, simple as that. Needs to get back in this match. It's a race to 9.
Yeah, the 7's going to be the biggest obstacle for Alexa here. Could consider the combo, but it definitely won't be his first thought. Getting the cue ball somewhere around the 4 will work. That angle there will play well into the short side. A little too much angle here. You can slow these shots down a lot more with new cloth because you don't have to hit them as hard for the draw to take hold, but I think he still has too much angle to hold it for the play in the bottom right. You can come below it and shoot the 7 in the top left as well. Not bad, but not ideal, so a tester now for Alexa.
Yeah, did get as high as number 20 in the world, now ranked 34. Beautiful shot. 25 years of age, Eric, so still time to grow. He's still learning his trade, isn't he?
Well, and I think like you were saying, I think you alluded perfectly there. There's not many players that just kind of come out of nowhere and have good results. So I think that really speaks to their talent, and it speaks to their self-belief and really what their career is going to go like. You know, he's along with Labutis, players like Labutis, and there's not really many that come to mind that really just come on right away. You know, I think Eklankachi was like that about 5 to 8 years ago when he first came on. He had some real quick initial success. And put him right there in the top 50 somewhere, and capable of making deep runs.
Needs to get the break going. A break and run would suit him very, very nicely. Now, is he going to have a shot? Well, I don't think it's legal, is it?
It's not.
He struggled with it.
Well, yeah. He's hitting them fine, but that just happens sometimes. The balls end up colliding with each other, and sometimes the collisions will go up table, or sometimes the collisions will just kind of stick the balls where they are. It's the only unfortunate thing about these rules, but the reason why they're implementing it is because they don't want soft breaking. They're already offensive breaking rules, so you don't want to bring the soft break into play. Shot there from Mateus.
It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of rule, isn't it? Because players will soft break if they can, once they get to know exactly where the balls are going. But Alexa is hitting them with plenty of power, as you said, getting just very unlucky, and what a great jump shot that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Not much doing, Eric, I don't think, on the three, is there?
Yeah, nothing offensive, but those are the kind of shots he's going to need to get himself back into this match. He's going to want to play the cue ball near the 4 here, but it's tough to get the cue ball going enough to the right without drawing it. Could go behind the 5-9. Touchy, would have to hit it very thinly. Smart shot, using the maximum amount of blockers there. Be really unfortunate if he caught a window between them, and judging by his body language, I think he did. He did leave some kind of edge here. So that's an unlucky roll for Alexa. Let's see if Mateus can take an advantage. Look at that there, Mark. Between 3 balls, but just the exact path that he needs to hit, at least hit some part of it directly.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Like threading a motorbike through the Thailand traffic, that is.
Even had a chance at the offense there. Played it in a two-way fashion. He's left him blocked. Alexa can play a two-way kick here. The thing with that is if you make it, you won't likely be on the 4. Decision time here at what speed he wants to hit this at. I think I'd favor more speed because it's just really low percentage to actually kick the ball in. Nice shot. Good containment there. Likely going to be in a bad spot on his next shot. Yeah.
That's just what I was about to say. He's going to find himself hooked when he comes back to the table next time, Eric, I think. Options. Can play it thin or just run the 3 past. He's overhit this slightly. He's left an edge.
Look for Alexa to play the cue ball up table here likely, but it looks like he's looking at keeping the cue ball on the same end possibly. Yeah, just less movement there. Kind of tougher to get Mateus in a real bad spot, but he's done pretty well. He's taken away a lot of the right long rail. I have to play this with a bunch of left spin. If he hits at half ball, the cue ball's kind of coming off into the 9, so good shot from Alexa there.
Good effort.
And
Could see what he was trying to do. Just overhit it slightly, Eric, didn't he? Just slightly.
yeah, and after a few safety exchanges, Alexa gets the advantage.
Cues are all over the floor. Look over there. It keeps falling over that cue, doesn't it? He seems to be happy
Second
with it
time,
on the
yeah.
carpet.
Might have to go around 3 rails, but a fair bit of room in the middle of the table to play onto the 5.
We said at the start of his 2 breaks he needed to win both of the racks, Eric, and he's on course to do just that, to bring the deficit back to just 5-3. Still a little bit of work to do though.
It's always been a little bit interesting to me, players that come from countries that don't have many world-class players. It's like they found a way to kind of carve a path for themselves, you know. Even Mateus being one of the original players from Poland. But I just think it's a kind of an innate advantage for, say, one of the new school Polish players. They're around so many good players that they just improve naturally by being around other good players. But for a player like Alexa, must have had to do a lot of travel in his early career.
Yeah, it's good you touch on that. It's very, very important. I can remember when I played snooker back in the old days to a pretty high standard. But I was kind of the best in the area, Eric, and unless you travel to like London and places like that, which as a child, it's not always easy, especially back in the day when I was a youngster. It's pretty hard to improve when you haven't got the better players to play against, isn't it?
Yeah, just emulating them and actually being in like tough match situations, you'll just naturally improve easier that way. Again, bringing up Eklund Kaci, one of the only top players from Albania. But Europe is a smaller country, or a smaller continent. There's a lot of countries that you can access within 5 hours, so. But it does take more effort, no doubt. Yes, Snagotski hitting the break very well, getting a maybe getting a shot on the 2-3. Might have just come in his way last minute, having a look at it. But getting the corner ball and the 1 ball down consistently, so that's 2/3 of the way to the 3-point rule.
I wonder if he could just flick this off the rail, Eric. Just go rail first with lots of right hand spin and just try and flick it in. Could play dividends.
Yeah, that would be a good shot. I think he's just a little too heavy on the swerve, so he's looking at pushing out to the same shot you were talking about, but just a little less difficult. Just won't have to swerve the cue ball as much. Just gonna go up table, protect his lead a little here.
Pretty smart
Alexa
push.
can get the, yeah, it is. Alexa can get the cue ball near the 7 here, but it can go wrong. I like giving this back.
Oh, young Felix Vogel was 4-0 down to Petter Urban earlier on. It's now 5-5. Huge talent from Germany, Felix Vogel. Recently won a junior tournament on the big stage. Did well at the European Championships as well, I seem to remember, Eric.
Yeah, he's had a second place finish in Eurotour men's event last year. Really one of the up and coming young players on the scene.
Germany just keeps on producing them. Josh Viller, Matthias Neuhausen. Now there's a name that I thought would have done a little bit more than he's done so far, Eric. Moritz Neuhausen.
Yeah. I think it, there's so many top players now. It just speaks to the difficulty of how tough it is to get to the end of an international field. Fargo Rating put out a chart yesterday. There's 32 players over 775 Fargo in this Eurotour Austria event. Yeah, it just shows the strength of the field and how tough it is. Like if you were to come back 5 years ago and look at the number of players over 775 or even over 750 in a Eurotour event, you'd probably be talking about 16, half the amount. So really, every match you play, you got to be right on the ball, bring in your A game.
Yeah, I saw a stat this morning when I woke up. Germany have 66 players in this tournament. I mean, that's just a huge number, isn't it? Out of a field of 216, it's massive.
So Alexa finding a way to narrow the gap here. Some good safety play. Haven't been any break-in runs in the last 3 racks.
Another legend finds himself in trouble. Oliver Ortmann is 8-1 down to young Dutchman Yannick Pongers. So Yannick going well there on the hill. And Alexa will feel a lot better after nicking that one. 5-4.
Gonna be illegal here. Looks like the 2's a little covered, but Alexa will be happy to get back at the table. If he has the center of the 2, he can play the 2 up table and just stick the cue ball in the same area in the same area as the 2. Looks like he's
I think that's where that the 3-point rule is just so tough, isn't it? I mean, he's made 2 balls there, and the 6th ball catching the jaw of the side pocket and not giving him the 3 points he needed. That's super unlucky.
Yeah, and it's a little unnerving if you're hitting the break exactly how you want and not achieving the requirements. But there's a small difference, you know, like the top 10 seeds, I wouldn't think you would see them illegally breaking very much, or maybe even the top 16 seeds. Maybe these two players are right around that range, and it has happened. But you know, just to pick a player out of the field like Filler, I just don't think you're going to see as many illegal breaks from him. He'll hit the extra speed if he has to. He'll hit the cut angle a little better, where better things are going to tend to happen. So it just adds an interesting element overall.
Taking his extension, he was just ready to pull the trigger there, Eric, and had to take his extension as the referee called time.
Caught it nicely, exactly how he wanted. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautifully done. Gets the tap on the table as well. Appreciation from Alexia Pachel.
He did leave a window between the 6-9. At worst case, Alexa can play off the short rail, but I think he can go directly into it. Nice shot, good coverage too. Covered the short rail here. It's gonna have to go up to the long end of the table, I think, and be pretty. Oh, he's gonna jump safe. It's a good shot off the right side of the 2 here. Nicely played again.
High quality jump
So nice.
shot.
Yeah, so nice to see these world-class players go to battle in these safe racks sometimes. Just really advanced shots, you know, one chance at it, executed nicely. Even on the kick there, the first kick from Mateus, kicked it exactly how he wanted. Alexa put him back in a bad spot again. Still returned with a bad spot after that. The creativity and the execution of these top-level players is always nice to see.
Yeah, I do like the introduction as well of the jump cue. I know it's been around for some time now, but there's a lot of people, you know, it's got its haters, the jump stick, but it does give that extra, you know, it's not really stopping us seeing kicking. We've seen plenty of great kicking as well as jumps. Just adds another dimension to the game, I think.
Yeah, and it forces players to play higher level safes where ideally they're freezing the cue ball to the ball they're trying to get behind and taking away the jump. If they don't, then they're susceptible. Almost scratched there, but he's okay. Choice of either pocket here. I think he'll favor the bottom left. Oh, first miss ball in a few racks.
Yeah, that's unexpected, isn't it?
Tough to play offense here. Looks like he's looking at the pocketing angle. He can fall through the 6, but there's a lot of traffic coming back up table.
Yeah, don't try and hit this hard. Just stroke it home. Let the cue do the work.
Nice
Just
play.
like that. That's beautiful. This is top quality shot, this.
Small roll at the end of it, but he definitely deserved it there.
Oh, he's right back in this now, Eric. Just from these last 4 balls, and we've got ourselves a race to 4, because it's going to be for all intents and purposes, all square at 5-5 very, very shortly.
Yeah, and back into 2 breaks for Alexa too, so make him a small favor from this point forward after he was stuck 5-1. Strong comeback here.
So simple stun off the side route, back for the 9 into the side pocket to complete the comeback. And now he will be feeling very, very good inside. Alexa Pachel, the Serbian, is right back in this now. And as you say, with 2 breaks to come, Eric, you've got to make him slight favourite. What he would do for a break and run now.
Yeah, and this is back to my thoughts of like he'll have 4 of the next 6 breaks, not just the next 2, but 4 of the next 6. So when you have the advantage in the breaks going near the end of the match, definitely has to consider him a favorite overall.
Yeah, and if he can win the racks off of his break, it will take him to the 9 he requires. So good point. And 3 points achieved. A shot at the 2 ball. It's all just turned around, hasn't it, in the space of a few shots here, Eric?
Yeah, cue ball's going to be playing towards the 6 here. It's going to try to come to the inside of it, more to the middle of the table. Going to need a bit of right spin. But comfortable enough on the pocketing that he should be okay. Nicely played, wants to be straight here, has a bit of angle going to the right. He's got options on this one. You could draw into the 8 and guarantee yourself the shot on the 5, or try to get better on it. So he's going to come all the way back for the side. That'll be a game winner if he gets there.
Very important. I'm sure you tell your students, make sure you know exactly what shot you're going to play before you get down. You saw him kind of going to get down and stood back up again on 2 occasions. The right thing to do, reset.
Well, that was the best shot there. I didn't realize he could draw out of the angle so much, but just moved the cue ball the minimum amount. Playing into a very makeable shot on the 5.
Oh, steady, steady, Alexa. Don't get excited just yet. Dropped his chalk on the table. And if that's of the round variety, you can soon end up fouling. I forget who it was. I saw somebody chasing their chalk around the table on a video I saw on Facebook yesterday. Can't remember who it was now.
I think it happened to Shane Van Boning one time, yeah.
Well, you were there commentating, I believe, on that very funny incident in the final of the World 8 Ball between Shane and Sanjin Perlevanovic, when Shane went to break off and the cue went inside his glove.
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, was that the final? I didn't do the final, but I know what you're talking about. And the cue just kind of got stuck there. Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the final, but it was certainly the World 8 Ball in Austria.
That's right. I remember it.
So this 9 ball to complete the comeback and take the lead. This is a great performance from 5-1 down. Alexa Pachel Now leads 6-5.
And breaking in rack number 12, looking to extend his lead here. He hit them with more power last break. Easily got the 3-point rule. I think that's the key. It's, you know, it's stopping the soft break, but some players might even try to trend into a medium speed break, and then they realize that, well, there's still a risk of going illegal if you even go medium speed. So really just forcing them to power up, which is a positive thing overall.
I can remember making 3 points on my license, on my driving license, for going too fast. That happened a few times. Get 9 points, I think it was, or was it 12? I think it might have been 12 points, and you're banned for a year.
Yeah, we have a similar system in North America too. He's okay here. He can play a bit of right spin. Stay to the left of the 7. Big turnaround in this match. 5 ball's going to play a factor going forward. He's having a good look at it. I believe he has the cut angle mark, don't you?
It looks like he does from our position, Eric, from what we're seeing. Oh, look at this pace as well he's played it at.
A little too much.
Oh, just a little bit too far. Oh, he barely touched that, did he?
Yeah, just caught the thin part of the pocket, so the cue ball had a little more energy than what he was negotiating for. Just gonna back off here, play the cue ball behind the 8 or near the 5. 3-9 can play a role as well. He's come up short.
Needs this to go. Needs it to go. Oh, it hasn't. There's a good opportunity there.
Short of pace again. Snagotski's really only missed 1 ball that I can remember in the whole match, but he's been a little bit out of sorts in the safe department. Shot there from Alexa. Gonna be hoping he didn't leave the right edge of the 2 here. I think he might have. If he did, Snagotski will be looking to play the cue ball behind the 8.
It's a touchy little shot, isn't it? Has to be careful because the 2's going to be going over the side pocket. Played it very, very well. Kind of asked for that, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple small window rolls that Alexis caught. He's done well to really have the scoreline in his advantage up to this point, but gonna have to fight here some more. They said created distance. Shot's gonna be on from Mateus here.
And what about the 3-9 afterwards?
Possibly, because the positions. Yeah.
It's taken him that way, isn't it, Eric? It certainly
and the
was.
position was tough. Well, interesting rack developing here. Gonna have to see if the 2 passes the 8. Good camera angle there. Looks like he's got about 2/3 to 3/4 of a pocket. Nicely played. He does have the angle where he can come into the short side, but I don't think there's enough room over there. He'll stick with the combo here. Ideally, he'll want to be on the left side of the table a little bit so he can move the cue ball to the right, because the 5 will likely be moving to the right as well. Nicely done. You can hold the cue ball where it is. 5's going to play off to the right a little, but it'll still be available. Same pocket. Strong match from Alexa here, overcoming some adversity. Really using his all-around game. Playing safe well, kicking well.
Yeah, and on our other televised table, Max Lechner is 6-4 down to Stefan Kasper. So the German going very, very well against the local Austrian. Over on that table there, just on the top right-hand side of his screens. And it's another one for Alexa Pachel, 7-5 now from 5-1 down, Eric. This is some performance, isn't it? Shown a lot of heart.
Yeah, 6 games on the trot now. Back to Snagotski here for 2 breaks. And he'll really be wanting to win both, because if he loses even one of them, it'll be back to 2 breaks for Alexa, threatening on the hill. Legal break, nothing on the 3, does have the left edge. Can play an aggressive safe behind the 6 here. Problem with that is the 3 is going to end up over the bottom left. Might have to try to make something happen.
Risky.
Smarter shot there. Yeah, playing the 3 safer there. This is a weird kick mark because you're going to hit it almost 100% of the time, but it's very tough to kick safe out of. It's looking at going 2 rails and possibly getting the cue ball traveling towards the 5.
You see him just putting his cue where he wants to hit. Players are not allowed, of course, to mark the table with the chalk on the tip or place a piece of chalk on the table on the line. No outside aids allowed. Of course, we don't see that in the professional game, but I've seen it a few times, Eric, in my local club. Oh, he may have left an easy combo here. He has.
Yeah, and the 3 will be playing to the right off the 6, but so will the cue ball, so chance here for Mateus.
Hit it almost perfect, didn't he, that 3 ball there, Pachel? Slightly unfortunate.
A little straight here, but off the rail, so he can draw straight back if he likes.
Well, I haven't had a heel-heel match that I've commentated on so far in this Austrian Open Eurotour. but I think this could be the first one for me. It's got that feel about it, Eric, hasn't it?
Yeah, even coming in, both players within 10 points in Fargo. Expect a close match, and it has been. Next rack is real key for Mateus. If he can pull out a break and run, it's really game on from there. But if he doesn't, then Alexa will have 2 breaks at the win.
Yeah, he won the leg, Alexa, so he is going to have the first chance.
Both players with a lot of break and run power. There hasn't actually been a lot of break and runs in the set. Maybe 4, 5 at most out of the 13 games. Really both players just not getting a shot and breaking illegally a couple times. But I think the illegal breaks will be out of the way here.
Austria, famous for its beautiful cakes and desserts. The apple strudel, of course, is one of my favourites, but there's another one called the Sasha Torte, which is apparently the most famous Austrian delicacy. It's a chocolate cake, Eric. Are you a chocolate fan? Who doesn't like chocolate?
Yeah. Wow, this is a perfect result here for Mateus off the break. Straight in on the 2. Gonna have to decide if he wants to shoot the 4 on the side. I think he'll shy away from it. Funny thing is the 3's on the exact line he wants for the 4, so it's a possibility. If not, he can go up to the same pocket as he's shooting the 3 in. He's overhit this a little. Coming around 2 rails, there is a path between the 6-9. To see how thick he is on this ball, if he can slow it down or not. It's a little thin. Might actually go over into the top, bottom right, just because it's such a thin angle into the left. Biggest thing he's worried about here, Mark, is, yeah, he's leaning right over the 7. Biggest thing he's worried about here is slowing the cue ball down enough. Shot for the 5.
Oh, heart in the mouth. Heart in the mouth moment there for Snagotski. More work to do now though, Eric. Wrong angle on this 4 ball.
Yeah, cue ball's playing towards the 6-9. There is a path right in between them, but you gotta hit this shot very precisely. If he crashes on either of those balls, it'll be trouble.
Looks like he's drawing past them.
Nice shot.
Oh, he's hit that well, hasn't he? He's hit that very, very well. Doesn't want to be dead straight though. He's just got a slight angle. Eric can punch off the rail here.
Yeah, he'll be a little further and closer to the rail than he would like, but still okay here. Oh, he had enough. Nice shot. Great match here. Tough to pick a winner at this point. It's going to be back over to Pachel for 2 breaks now. Has the match in his hands, but really wants the roll of the first shot too. Look out here, don't end up over the 9. Just to the side of it where his cueing's okay. Tester now,
Well,
missable shot, late in the match.
This has been a very, very difficult run out. Nothing's been easy, Eric, has it? He's not really been in prime position once, really. Okay, played that 3 to the 4 pretty well, or was it the 4 to the 5? But apart from that, he's had some tough shots to make, but he's got through it. Alexa Pachel straight out of his seat, though. He will be breaking next. It's in his hands first. If he can win both of these racks on his break, he will be a 9-7 winner. Let's give you a few updates on scores. Kasper Matikainen is trailing the reigning champion, Mohamed Soufi, by 6 racks to 3. Wojtek Shevchik is 4-3 up on Ugar Turku. Mariusz Snagotski is a winner, 9-1 over Lilia Diwalski. What's he got here, Eric?
Perfect start. Little thin on the 2. Going to want to avoid the 9 coming back towards the 4, but definitely be happy with this break. Looks like he's going to try to play in between the 7-9. I like that. If you play to the right of the 9, you're going to come too close to the 4. Pretty much straight high angle here.
Another big matchup. Sanjin Perlavanovic up against the Panda, Mario He. They're locked at 5-5 in their match out on table number 7. There's that 9 ball coming into play, Eric, which you spoke about.
I think it got him, and he's showing a little frustration here. Always tough when you got to get the cue ball up and down quickly. Yeah.
He can't undo his jump cue now. He wants to take the end off it.
And really,
He's
he needs
struggling.
to. I've never seen that before. He needs the shorter one here because the cue ball has to get up and down quickly.
Oh, cue ball.
No.
Well, that's a huge roll. Has he hooked him with the point? I think he might have done.
Yeah, look how deep the cue ball is in the pocket. I think he can see all of it, but what a turning point that would have been. Almost a guaranteed win for Snagotski if that ball goes down. Now going to have to come up with a good safe shot here. Nice shot.
I think he'll be pleased just to get back to the table, won't he, Mateus? And he's played a good shot there. He's got cover on the 4 ball.
Can go at this ball 2 rails. Kind of tough to control it, so he's going to try to jump at it, hit the 4 ball thickly, and leave the cue ball at that end of the table. Not bad. I don't believe the 4 passes the 5 mark. It's close.
No, I don't think it does. I was just thinking, Alexa Pachel's cue sponsor, might be thinking about coming up with a new innovation and put airbags on his cue, the way he throws them around sometimes. It's been on the floor at least 4 times, his cue today.
Well, he's had a funny match. He's had to fight hard, and I was saying before, he's done well to even be at this scoreline.
Yeah, trailed 5-1, remember. Now then, well, it was an easy swerve rail first here. If he hasn't got a look at this, wouldn't expect him to miss this, Eric, would you? He's coming with both cues this time. One of them's going to go on the floor again.
Yeah, I think he can just go straight high here. He doesn't even have to swerve at it. Small risk of coming around the rails and getting behind the 6, but expect him to be to the right of it. Finally gets a good roll.
Flirted with it. Flirted with the 6, but he's okay. What a chance to get on the hill and be breaking for the match. How's he getting to the 6 though, Eric, from here? Is he just drawing and taking his medicine?
Yeah, he's straight enough to hold on the right side of the table. It's going to force him into an angle on the 6, and the 9's blocking the most obvious position line for the 7. So a bit of work to be done here.
Oh, slightly hampered here as well by the 8, maybe.
That's right.
We're bridging over the top of the 8 ball here. So it's just another little interference that you don't want at this stage, especially on a shot of this distance, Eric. It's not a gimme, is it? It's very easy to swerve the ball.
Yeah, nice thing is he can play straight high, but definitely some difficulty here. Got it.
Oh no.
Wow, I think he's okay. It's tough to get hooked by the points when the ball's on this angle. He is okay. But definitely tough cueing out of the pocket here.
Oh no. So difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, missed it by the narrowest of margins.
That's payback for the cue ball that stayed there earlier on, Eric. The balls never forgive you. So it was a great comeback, but he's not going to be first to the hill. It's going to be this man, Snagotski from Poland. Another player on the hill, Felix Vogel, who was 4-0 down to Peter Urban earlier on, is now on the hill at 8-6. So the youngster from Germany playing some terrific stuff, continuing on where he's been leaving off in the last few events. As you said, Eric already has a runner-up on a Eurotour. Who's to say he can't go one better here this week in Austria? So Pachel needs this now to stay in the match. If ever he needed a good break, it's right this second.
One ball got jammed up. And is it going to be legal? How much of the ball has to go over the line? The 4's on the line. I don't actually know this ruling.
Yes, sometimes it's more than half the ball over, or sometimes it's just the bottom of the ball touching the line, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the more common rule now is that if any part of the ball is touching the line, he's okay, and that is the case here, so.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Matthias is right behind it. He knows as well, so No reaction from him.
Well, he can go rail first, but he'll lose the cue ball behind the 5-6, so I'd rule that out. You can bank the 1 down near the 5-6 and move the cue ball to the right. I'm surprised he's playing left on this. Might be trying to get behind the 4 with the cue ball.
He's trying to hold it there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, behind the 4. It's gone wrong though. There's a chance, Eric. It's all you ask for, isn't it?
Yeah, and as you predicted, looking like hill here. 5's not easily accessible. You can play it in the middle left.
Yeah, good point from one of our eagle-eyed viewers, Mr. Wrigley. Thank you so much. He made 2 balls on the break anyway, Eric, so it didn't matter. The 1 ball crossed the kitchen line, so it didn't matter whether the 4 did or not. So we still don't know that rule. We will check on that one though for you guys before the next match. More action to come after this match.
Well, the 5 was actually a bit available in both bottom pockets, so he has it in the bottom right now. Going to be forced to leave himself a little angle on the 7, but he should be okay. He's going to end up pretty close to it.
We have 2 more games for you today, and then of course tomorrow the women start their Eurotour. Defending champion Veronika Inevaskaya, actually known as... She got married, didn't she, and changed her name. I was going to say Hadley for some reason.
Halliday, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, you just reminded me.
Halliday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for helping me out there, Eric. Yes, Halliday, of course. 2 brothers who play pool as well. Vincent and... I can't remember the other one's name, I apologise.
I think
yeah,
Richard
Veronika Halliday.
Yeah.
You're top of the class today, Eric. You're getting me out of all sorts of trouble. So, good reply here from Pachel, and we've got our wish, Eric. It is going to be hill. And there's the... I don't know what you call that. It wasn't a fist pump, it wasn't a handshake. What was it? Kind of a low 5, I guess it was. Something like that.
That's usually how the... Yeah, it's usually how the Euros kind of shake hands before and after matches.
How do you North Americans do it then?
Oh, it's the standard.
Good old-fashioned handshake? Good old-fashioned handshake, yeah?
Waist height.
Here we go then. Well, waist height for you, head height for most other people that you shake hands with, I think, Eric.
Oh, he's going to be legal here, and didn't make a ball.
Well, he's been a little bit fortunate that the 1 doesn't go in the side. Can he combo onto the 7?
Just has to figure out what the percentages of making it, and I think they're high enough. He's going to want to leave the 1 in a way where he can make it in the top right or possibly the side. No, just opted for safe. Little disappointed that he didn't take away the right long rail. He's actually left both long rails, but I think he'll favor the right one because the 6 is in the way of the left one. Anytime you're kicking at a ball in the middle of the table like this, it's tough to get a safe out of it. There is traffic at both ends. I think he'll just hit this with speed. Trust a little bit to luck. Nice shot.
Good shot. Very good shot. Under pressure. Deciding rack. A round of applause from the spectators as well. Thoroughly deserved. What a great shot that was under pressure.
Trying to create distance here. Is the one gonna go? No. So first chance for Snagotski. It's got a little too much angle where it's tough to hold the cue ball. There are passes between the 8-9. Looks like he's gonna try to draw it and hold it. Good shot. Smallest angle going to the left, but there's a lot of traffic over on the left side of the table. He is straight enough to draw inside the 5 and take a bigger cut angle on the 3. Lots of options here for Mateus. Taking his extension, knowing this is the shot of the rack here.
Oh, I didn't want that kiss. Doesn't want the scratch either. Well, that is all so unfortunate. And if he loses on that shot alone, he's going to be absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised if he took that track that he just didn't try to float it into position, but he wanted to hit it a little more aggressively and get past the 9. Just clipped it on the way through.
Yeah, was it bad choice of shot, Eric, or was it just unfortunate?
Well, he's in a tough spot. I understand that if he does miss the 9 there, he's almost always going to get on the 3. But anytime you're running the risk of running into another ball, it's questionable. A little too much angle here, Mark. Cue ball's
Yeah, 7
drawing
playing
back into
big,
the
isn't it?
7. Yeah. It's actually very tough to hold this ball. Yeah, and he's going to have to go in between the 6-7 here. Nicely played. Just looking to play the cue ball around the 9 now. And if he gets good on the 6, the last 4 balls are lying real good. Great match we've been treated to here. Winner's going to advance to the final 32 redraw. Loser will have to win 1 match to get back to that stage.
There's another exciting matchup as well, I've just noticed. In the next round, Josh Filler up against Mark Beisterbosch.
A little too much angle here. Going to be tough to get perfect on the 8. A little risky to draw above the 8. If he goes below it, he's probably going to have to play it in the top right.
There is Josh Filler right on cue. And table number 1.
Nicely played
It's gonna
there,
be
and he's
fast
home
and
safe
furious.
now.
Yeah, from 5-1 down, Eric. He suffered that little scare when came all the way back to lead. 7-5. Back came Mateusz Snagotski. And finally going to fall over the line. This 9 ball which he's taking. Well, he's not taking it lightly at all, is he? This ball to go through to the last 32. Mateusz is going to have to go one more match to get to the same position. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Thank you to Eric Horlefson over there in Toronto. I'm Mark White here in Thailand. It's a real international affair, isn't it, this Austrian Open? We'll see you for more action very, very soon. But for now, from me, Mark White, it's ta-da for now.
Adrian West, Mario
I have an angle to draw
please
here.
proceed to table 8.
Right.